when she kisses her fella, she needs an umbrella.
He slobbers.
But he had a blind date.
I got an outstanding goodnight kiss.
And she wasn't cruel about his drool.
I thought it would be a little awkward, first kiss and all, but he's great.
After she has a blind date, too.
I took her back to my place for dessert.
And he finds a way to make her mouth water.
I cooked her some flaming bananas.
Will she be a survivor of his saliva?
Did he make any moves while you were munching on his flaming bananas?
Or will they have a change of heart?
Welcome to Change of Heart. Let's throw out some cheers for our couple today. Welcome, Pete Stacio and Alicia Peterman. Welcome. Now, here's the thing. You guys started dating a year ago, if I'm right, but you guys even argue about how that came about. Pete, please explain how it all began.
Well, she asked me out, but she won't admit it.
No,
See?
I won't admit it because I didn't ask him out.
You did ask me.
No,
Do you
I
wanna
was
go to a hockey
raised where
game?
girls
That's what-
do not ask guys out.
Well, do you want to go to a
and I
hockey game?
didn't.
Yes, I do.
We were taking
considers asking me out.
We were
if you ask
taking a
me.
mutual friend to a hockey game for his birthday, and I invited him and his girlfriend. He had a
I didn't have a
girlfriend.
girlfriend.
Yes, he
She
did.
knew I didn't have a girlfriend.
And
She
he
All
still
right, so
asked me.
somehow it all got started back then, about a year ago or
Yeah,
so. But Alicia,
basically.
now it's been a year. What keeps his puck in your goal since it all started at a hockey game?
Well, he has gorgeous blue eyes, a great body. He always intends to do well, and I know I could call him in the middle of the night if I needed.
He intends to do well. I'm sure we'll hear more
You
about
do
that.
well all the time, 100%.
And Pete, what about you? What makes you want to keep high-sticking Alicia? Sticking with our hockey theme here.
Well, she's really cute. I love her smile, and she's really sweet. She took me to an Italian restaurant one time, even though she didn't like Italian food, so I thought that was really nice.
So she went out of her way, she's considerate, and those are a lot of nice things. All right, so Pete, let's go right to the nitty-gritty. What about complaints in the bedroom?
Yeah, she won't use her mouth, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, I don't like butt size, if you know what I mean.
You say you've been meaning to start, but you never do. I've been waiting for it. This is like false hope
Give
for
me a reason to want to.
I don't know.
That's a little harsh.
That is hard.
Alicia, what about the way Pete uses his mouth, though? Any problems there?
He slobbers.
Slobbers?
We kiss
What?
all the time.
I don't
Yes.
slobber.
He doesn't believe in swallowing.
You don't believe in swallowing.
No, I think he thinks
I think we've already established that.
She has no technique when she kisses. It's a peck and that's it.
because I'm worried about the slobber
Well, it's
gathering
her slobber
in my mouth.
problem.
A happy medium for the two of you somewhere would be a nice makeout
Yeah,
session.
we need to figure something out here.
Now,
Swallow.
Alicia, what about when you guys have an argument? How is Pete when it comes to that? How does he react?
He cries all the time.
I don't
You mean
cry.
cry?
No.
Tears,
Twice.
not no.
Twice, okay?
No.
Twice does not
We've
denote
had
every
one
time.
huge argument.
No, two huge
And-
arguments. You know, you
no,
haven't cried. What are you talking
I cried
about?
at one argument,
Whatever.
and every other thing he's bawling
No, I'm
about.
not. You act like I have a faucet
But
down
he
running down my
does.
cheek, and I don't.
He does.
You could be more sensitive if you wanted to,
Now, Pete, what about going out with her and her personality that causes these arguments in the first place?
but shoot, she's just a bitchy nag.
Whatever. No.
Yeah,
If
you
he
are.
couldn't give me reasons
You're always
to nag.
nagging me. You're
No,
always nagging me.
no.
Nothing's
If
good enough. First of all, you need a new car. You don't have any money.
You do.
Well, then
And you-
go get a job. So what I do, I go get a job. And
Right.
what happens now? You're never around. I never get to see you anymore.
He doesn't know how to balance his time.
Well, I got school
it's
and baseball and
You're
work.
not the
and
only person that's gone to school and work.
Now, Alicia, what about his maturity level? How would you describe Pete in that respect?
He is more immature than my 3-year-old.
What?
They argue over food. Like, he doesn't want to share
No,
with
I do
her.
share my food. I even
But-
buy her food. What are you
but
talking
no,
about?
he doesn't want to buy her own meal.
Yes,
but then
well,
he
she
doesn't want to share
I
with
go
her
get
either.
food for myself. Like, I'm going to need something to eat. She goes with me, blah, blah, blah. I order, I get for me. And when I turn around, my hamburger's gone. I'm like, what's this all about?
Because
you know?
he wouldn't buy her own
you don't
food.
In the
Yeah,
first
that's
place,
right.
right?
Exactly.
Get her a happy meal, will
No.
you? Now, listen, you take care of him when you're together. What about when he's on his own, though? How is he?
He's a total daddy's boy.
Daddy's
He has to-
boy? What are you
Yes.
talking about?
He has to go to his dad
No, I'm
for
not.
everything.
My dad sends me money. He helps
His
me out.
parents,
My parents
totally
love me. Is that such a
support
crime?
him. He doesn't live at home. He does what he wants to do. They
I'm
send
in
him
college.
money
They send me money.
monthly.
I'm a college
You
student.
got good parents then. They're
I do.
sending
I
you
got good
cash.
parents. They love
Come
me,
on.
But he has
exactly.
to go to his dad for approval on everything.
No,
I mean, me,
well,
they
he
don't
pays the
not.
bills.
They-
He pays the bills. So.
Financially, I mean, if he wants to buy a new car, go to dad. He wants to make a commitment, he still goes to dad.
Now, Alicia, how do you hope the show is going to actually help the two of you in your commitment here?
Well, I kind of feel like the honeymoon's over.
It's
So he has a lot of growing up to do if he wants a more committed
He has
relationship.
growing up to do also.
So you're hoping the show's going to put that spark in him, huh?
Yes.
All right, we're going to find out because up next, how did Alicia find out her date's favorite bedroom position? Stay tuned. We'll tell you next. We're here with Pete and Alicia. Now, Alicia says Pete's an immature crybaby who drools when he kisses. So we set her up with a sophisticated gent who's got a mouth that never misses. Let's give it up for Lewis Oken.
That's so terrible.
How you doing, Lewis?
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
You know, Alicia? Have a seat. Now, Pete, we know you cry over arguments. What do you think Lewis cries over?
Probably a stupid hat he's wearing. What do you think?
Now, Lewis, when you talked to Alicia on the phone for the first time, did you get some sense of where things stood between the two of them?
Yeah, I told her right from the start that she was going to have a change of heart.
Well, good luck, buddy.
She said at that point it wasn't going to take much.
Oh, really? So you thought you were in right off the bat?
Absolutely.
Now, Alicia, what about when it came time to making plans for the day? How was Lewis when it got down to it?
Lewis totally took charge, whereas Pete, he lets me run over him. And
I don't let you run over me. I just try to do things you want to do.
If he wants to do something, no matter how bad, if I say no, then no's okay. And we don't.
I'm trying to
So
make
he's
her
too
happy. What's wrong with
accommodating.
that?
Now, Pete, if the plans were left to Alicia, what do you think she'd want to do?
I watch TV.
That's it? Just kind of hang out?
She sits at home with TV. Her best friend, that is TV. She sits there and watches with Mom Family, and that's it, you know?
If he
Mama's
entertained
Family.
me,
That's
I wouldn't
Mama's
wanna
Family. That's her
watch
favorite
TV all the
show.
time.
Now, Alicia, what about when Lewis showed up at your doorstep? What'd you think?
He was cute. He has like this little boy face and
And a nice hat,
but
too.
as far as his body goes, I couldn't tell that much because everything was really baggy on him.
He's kind of got loose fitting, baggy
Well, he's
clothes.
chubby. You don't want to show that. Did I say that out loud?
Now, Alicia, Pete keeps pointing out his hat. Was he wearing the hat when he showed up?
He wasn't wearing it when he showed up, but he did put it on eventually.
Yes. Now, Lewis, what about you? When you met Alicia, were you pretty happy? Were you digging on her?
Oh yeah, she's really cute. She had big boobs. She had big boobs, a great smile, and beautiful eyes.
So that was all nice?
Oh yeah.
Now, Alicia, what about first date gifts? Did you get anything from Lewis?
Yes, actually, it was really sweet. He brought I have a 3-year-old, and he brought her a fish in the fish bowl.
Very nice.
Which was dead when I got home. But it was not.
You brought her a dead fish.
I didn't bring her a dead fish. It died
That's
afterwards.
Exactly,
My buddies
no.
warned me
So you got a
against that.
defective fish, in other words.
No, it was not his fault that the fish died.
Well, I'm sorry to hear about the
But-
fish. Now, Lewis, I understand that Alicia actually used your car as a dressing room. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Ours is
right.
dressing.
How'd that come about?
Well,
You can't dress yourself at the house? What's up?
Well, we went on a go-kart ride afterwards. We were going to dinner. She needed a place to change. I offered to take her someplace where she could change. She said, "No, screw it. I'm just going to change in the back seat." Chris?
There was never a point where he really could have seen anything.
Oh,
Actually, Chris,
that's
I wanted
pretty
to sneak a
terrible.
peek, but tell you the
Sneak
truth,
a peek.
I guess I was just too much of a gentleman.
So you were doing okay? But, Lewis, how about when
beer.
she popped out of the back seat? How'd she look?
She looked gorgeous. She had
So
sexy
you did
skirt
take a
on.
peek, huh?
She had a sexy skirt on. She was showing a lot of cleavage.
Now,
she's
Alicia,
into cleavage.
what about Lewis's choice of restaurants? How was that compared to like somewhere Pete would take you?
We went to a really nice, fancy restaurant.
So we go to
with
nice
Lewis.
restaurants.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, McDonald's. Why don't you buy her a Big Mac?
McDonald's,
I felt
whatever.
like with Lewis that I could order what I wanted to. I didn't have to worry about the money.
I always let you order what you want. I sacrifice
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Pete, we go to KFC and he's like, "Here's $3.
She wants to go to
Go
KFC.
wild."
I want to go to a nice restaurant. Let's go somewhere nice. Oh, let's go to KFC. That's not very nice,
But
but
this all,
okay.
no, that all comes back to him backing down.
Exactly.
I
Now,
don't
Lewis,
There's only so much you can do on Daddy's allowance, anyways. KFC might be it.
Oh, yeah?
Lewis, what
So what kind
about
of
Pete
allowance do you
over
have?
dinner? Did you have to hear about him and their
No,
relationship?
she didn't. She really didn't mention him that much, Chris. But what she did mention is that it was a 1-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I don't know about anyone else, but I wouldn't let my girlfund go out on a
Wait,
blind
you guys
date.
were out
So
on...
maybe-
Wait, let me get this
Maybe I went
right.
on a New Year
Yeah.
anniversary
Alicia, is this
also.
right? You were out on your 1-year anniversary with your blind date?
Well, a lot of things happened. So we had. I mean,
We
yes.
both
Sounds like a pretty
decided
All
strong
right,
relationship.
but wait a
decided
minute,
on
Pete, all things considered,
Yeah.
it was your anniversary too. Where the heck were you?
On my date?
Oh, okay, so you're both out on these blind dates. Now, Alicia, what about Lewis? Does he live off his folks like Pete does?
No. He owns his own business, so he
big man.
supports himself, and he could definitely.
Well, one day I'm making more money than him, so I won't worry about it.
So, Lewis, you had the fancy dinner. How did you guys top that off?
Actually, I took her back to my place for dessert.
That would do it.
Yeah, we cracked open a bottle of champagne. We had some strawberries. Dimmed the lights a little bit.
Dim the lights. How far
Put a
did that
little
go?
jazz music on.
Yeah. And what
I
was the
cooked her-
dessert?
Well, then I cooked her some flaming bananas.
What'd you do? Like put gasoline on it? Light it up?
So
No, but I
Alicia,
can give you some lessons if you want.
Wait, that
Oh,
sounds
yeah?
kind of romantic. I want to know if he made any moves while you were munching on his flaming bananas.
He felt like that we needed to practice our goodnight kiss. Those were actually
You
his
gotta practice.
words.
You're terrible.
No, we kissed, and then he started kissing me on my neck, and it was really nice. Though.
And now those kisses compared to Pete's, because we heard you dogging on him about the way he kisses.
they were drier.
So, Louis, what about when you're practicing this kissing technique? Was there anything that got in the way?
I do agree with Pete on one thing, okay, and that's that she likes to watch TV. In the middle of it, she wanted to watch Fletch.
Fletch?
I like the movie and all, but come on.
So, what did you do to get her mind off of that?
Well, we started playing the game Truth or Dare.
That'll shake it up a little bit.
It did a lot. And she asked me the truth about my favorite sexual position. Mm-hmm. I demonstrated it. Yeah, I demonstrated it on her.
He could know.
Yeah, I demonstrated it on her, and then
On her?
yeah, hey, I would demonstrate it right here, but it's a little bit too graphic for TV. Sorry.
So how far to go?
So, Alicia, it sounds like you had a pretty good time with all the things that were going on. But on a more serious note, how was the date different than the date with Pete?
I felt like I was actually dating a man instead of a child. We had, fun, silly times, but we still related to each other on a more mature level.
We have fun, silly times.
So you could feel it on a whole different level then, I guess. All right, now up next, Pete did some smooching with his date, but did he slobber on her too? We're going to find out, so stay tuned. What happened on Alicia's date with Louis. Now let's meet the hottie that we dug up for Pete. Now, Pete says Alicia's a nagging Nelly who should take bedroom lessons from Monica Lewinsky. So we set him up with a babe who bags on nags and says she made straight A's on her orals. Let's throw some lovin' for Amy Payne. Hi, Amy. Good to see you. And you know Pete? Have a seat. Now, Alicia, we said that she did really good on her orals. What would you give her an F for?
Her class, maybe?
Class?
Class is a good thing.
All right, Pete, what about you? What first struck you when she opened up the door?
Well, when she first opened the door, the first thing I noticed was her butt. And then second one was her smile. I thought they were really nice. You guys did a good job picking her out.
In that order. Well, thank you very much. Was it pretty obvious? You could tell Pete was all into you?
Oh yeah, he kept asking me if I had a boyfriend. I was like, no, and he told me, usually women as beautiful as you have boyfriends. And I was like,
yeah, one thing you learn about Pete is he talks a lot.
that's a good thing.
And Amy, vice versa, how did you feel when you saw him?
Oh, I thought he was great looking. I was surprised, and he had the chops and the sexy goatee going, and the long eyelashes. And I just thought he looked good.
Well, everything you see, I made.
Now, Alicia, let me get your opinion. Can Pete actually tell? Is he the kind of guy that knows when a girl's into him?
No, he's so naive. A girl has to be naked and on top of him before he has any clue as to what's going on. Yeah, he has girls showing up with overnight bags to his house and has no clue as to why it makes
So
sense.
you think he's
I
that
didn't do anything with them.
Now, Pete, I understand that you realized that there was something that the two women shared right off the bat. What was that?
Yeah, first of all, I kind of noticed that both of them kind of cake on their makeup a little bit. I guess Amy, a little too much eye makeup. I'm kind of a guy that doesn't like makeup, but and Alicia wears too much base. Every time I kiss her on her cheek, I got flesh-colored lips, so it's kind of...
So that was the one thing they had in common.
No.
All right, Amy, what about taking you out to get something to eat? Did he take you to KFC the way he takes Alicia?
Oh no, he took me to this great romantic restaurant. It overlooked the city, and we got out, and there was this jackass out there, and I was like,
It's like no point
what
to
is
this
this?
thing.
We couldn't figure out why they had this mule in front of this great
Like a real
restaurant.
live jackass.
Yeah, it was
A
something
real
like-
live jackass.
Now, wait a minute.
No,
Speaking of jackasses,
No,
I hear that Pete usually makes himself out to be one at dinner. Is that right, Alicia?
Yes, he eats like a pig at the trough.
No, I
He shovels it in.
Sometimes things fall on me like fruit. I don't intend to.
No,
I
and
got
even
bad
eating
luck,
chicken
blah, blah.
is the worst. You don't want to be in public with him eating chicken. He gets it all over his
Just all
fingers,
over.
greasy, dripping.
And Pete, how'd you hold up at this fancy restaurant that you were at?
I think I did pretty well for myself. Nothing fell on me. I did bring a backup shirt just in case, though.
Oh, you brought a shirt just in
I come
case.
prepared. I come prepared.
So you know it's a problem.
Yeah.
All right, Pete, so you're having dinner, nice place. How was the table conversation?
Table conversation was great. Amy was interested in everything I said, which is a pretty nice change compared to Alicia, who just kind of fades me out every now
If
and
he
then.
said things interesting every once in a while.
Then you'd be along for the ride there.
was like-
Now, Amy, while you're hanging out with Pete, any talk of Alicia come up, actually?
No, I didn't even find out her name. Nothing was mentioned about her at all. He probably had more fun with me on his 1-year anniversary than he would have with her.
Now, Amy, I hear that he actually surprised you with a couple of little gifts at the restaurant. Tell us about those.
Yes, a woman came up and took our picture together, and so we got a little close for the picture. It was pretty nice. And then another woman came up and gave us a rose, and it was very nice.
Gay,
very
right?
sweet.
No
I bought
money
it.
was exchanged.
Very nice,
Yeah, he bought
romantic.
it for
I
us.
understand we have that picture, so let's let everybody take a look at the two of you at your restaurant on the date. That looks very nice. Now, Pete, when you're out, do you buy gifts for Alicia like that?
Yeah, I think she comes to expect him now, basically, because I bring flowers or a card every week, and now she's just like, oh, thanks. You know, it's no big deal
No, because
anymore.
there's better things that he can spend his money on. I appreciate it. It's a
Well, I
very
try to make her
sweet
feel special,
thing.
like I said. But
Now, Amy,
Whataburger.
Is it true that you ended up almost getting whiplashed?
Yeah, we were driving, and I heard Pete say, "Oh no, I just ran a red light," and I turned over, and here comes this vehicle running into us. We did a 180, and I was like,
A little scary.
"It's a bad sign."
Bumper cars,
Were you
expensive way.
enthralled in her?
Pete
Yeah, so
really knows
Pete-
how to take care of his women.
Oh, Pete, were you,
more than you know,
Pete, were you
buddy.
distracted? What was going through your head at that
A little
point?
distracted, yes. We were having a good conversation, and before I knew
And
it,
that surprised him.
the car hit me. And the first thing I thought of, I prayed she was okay, and he was okay, because I was so worried. I was like, yeah, that'll be like the worst date ever. But,
yeah.
everyone ended up being okay. Sorry about your truck, Dennis. Anyway, it turned out everything's all right.
You would have ruined our record. We haven't lost a blind date yet. So, Amy, did you decide to stick with him at that point? Or?
Oh hell yeah, I was all for that. He was very sweet. He was very concerned over my well-being, and I thought that was very nice.
Well, good. I'm glad that. And now I understand the date continued, though. You guys recovered from that, and you actually went dancing after that. How was that?
Oh, that was awesome.
Did he dance?
Oh yeah.
You
oh,
don't go to
yeah.
clubs, you don't do anything.
I don't
You're
go
the
to clubs
bump
with
in the
him
log.
because he can't dance.
It was very
He
crowded.
does
She
the
doesn't wanna
chicken
go
and the
anywhere.
horse.
That's it?
The horse. That's my patented.
Okay, so it was crowded, and we got a little close. Philip on his hard body. I was like, "Hello." Then he led me through the crowd, and I checked out his butt. And
So you had a nice couple of opportunities
Oh, yeah.
there.
You
And
weren't
Pete?
Oh, yeah.
humiliated dancing with him.
oh,
I
no.
danced just fine, thank you.
So, Pete, how did you wrap things up for the date?
Well, I got an outstanding goodnight kiss.
You did? Now, here's the question, though, because Amy, did he slobber like we hear he does when he kisses?
Oh no, not at all. I was kind
Maybe
of,
it's just
you know,
I don't know.
I thought it would be a little awkward first kiss and all, but oh no, he's great. Great.
Now, Amy, overall, with everything that was going on there, would you call this date a success?
Well, he said he wanted to see me again, so I would think so.
As a possibility of another go-round. All right, well, next we're going to find out if Amy gets that second date. Pete and Alicia's final decisions are coming up next, so stay tuned. Now, they're here today because after a year, they say that the honeymoon's over. Alicia already has one child, and she's starting to feel like Pete's another. Will this relationship mature? Let's find out. So, Alicia, we're going to get your decision first. You say Pete's got a lot of growing up to do, so we sent you out with Lewis. You guys had, a really good time. He showed you more of a refined time, took you some nice places, more of what you wanted. Kissing was better, that too. And your decision, what do you say?
Going out with Lewis showed me exactly what I was missing with Pete. Also, it kind of showed me what I had with him and how deep my feelings were. So I'm going to stay together.
Stay together. All right, Lewis, sorry things didn't work out for you.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Now, Pete, Alicia wants to stay together. Let's get your decision. You went out with Amy. You guys had a nice time. You had a nice car wreck to throw in there to mix things up a little bit. But you did get to be yourself, and you said you had a really good time. What do you say?
Well, Amy, had a really fun time with you. And in fact, it reminded me a lot of what I had with Alicia when we first started. And it kind of made me realize that if I did do some growing up, maybe I can get those feelings back with Alicia. So I'm also going to decide to stay together.
Stay together. Amy, sorry things didn't work out for you. Now, Pete, Alicia, hopefully you answered some of those questions in your relationship, and you will be better off from here. That's our show for today. Thanks to Lewis and Amy, and good luck to Pete and Alicia. We'll see you next time on Change of Heart.